Okay, I'd just like to show you how to apply transitions to clips in the timeline. What I wanted to show you here is I've got one clip called Bloomies. I'm going to go ahead and add another one. I'm just going to choose Jeremy Solo. I'll go ahead and take from the beginning of the clip and just a second or so in, and I'll drop it in. I want to make sure that the clips are touching when I do transitions here. I'm also going to do this as an overwrite, so I want to make sure that my arrow is pointing down. And there we go, I've got two clips. Now if I select the intersection point between the clips, you'll notice actually I'm having a hard time doing that. That's because I'm using the pointer tool. If I hit the letter A, now I'm back to the selection tool, and now I can select the two clips at the same time. Once I have that selection, go up to Effects, Video Transitions, and here are all the different transitions that Final Cut offers you. It doesn't exactly give you a preview, so you kind of have to try these out and see what they look like if you want them to, before you put them into a project. We're going to use the cube spin, and notice what happens. I get this message here that says insufficient content for edit. This is not uncommon. The reason this is happening is because what I'm trying to do here is combine two clips that are essentially at their media limits. And what I mean by that is if I drag the clip over, you'll notice I'll try to stretch it to the left and it doesn't go anywhere. And when I grab Bloomies, I drag it to the right and that doesn't go anywhere either. The problem here is that when I want to combine two clips of the transition, they actually have to overlap. So they would kind of look like this if they were going to overlap, right? So how can I do that? Well, if I scale back on the clips a little bit, to the right and to the left, and then I push them back together. Now select the intersection point, and let's try it again. Effects, Video Transitions, 3D Simulation, Cube Spin, and look, there it is. Now I can see my cube spin. Okay. Now a lot of transitions can be edited. Okay. You can change the way the transition is being applied to the clips just by double-clicking the transition and looking at the transition editor. This little area right here is kind of unique because it shows you the light gray area and then the actual solid gray area. The solid gray area is the actually end of that media clip. The light blue area is kind of where there's still a little bit of that clip left. So if I wanted to make this transition longer, I could just grab the edge of it and stretch it out, and it actually pops up and shows you that this is 1 second and 12 frames longer. Okay. I also have some other features depending on the transitions you choose. Like in this case, I can change the spin of the transition. I can also change whether it's inside or outside. Okay, and generally all transitions when you add them will need to be rendered. I could use my trick Option P to actually preview it to see what it looks like in the timeline before I actually save it or render it, or if not, just hit Apple R and that'll render out, or Option R, that'll render that selection, and now I can play it through.
There's a lot of stops, a lot of spins.
And you can see in real time what that looks like, right? Again, you use your arrow key to see it. Okay? That's the basics of transitions. Go ahead and try a couple out and see what you think.